session. Welcome back. You need to turn that on.
It's already rolling.
No,
I'm on it.
it's not rolling, it's sitting still.
Okay, Dave.
It's a nice phone you got.
Yeah, okay. So I guess we're gonna start out with a motion to amend our agenda.
Yeah, so I think we should make a motion to amend the agenda to discuss and provide action on hiring Christina Hafer for Township Secretary.
Under new business.
Under new business, correct.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now going back to our regular business, under new business. Okay, the discussion and action on provision in employment contract regarding management duties included in township manager's base salary. So what we discussed was who is going to do recording of minutes. That was a point of question that we had. Because we need to have minutes taken at our Board of Supervisors meeting. We also have to have those minutes taken at our Planning Commission meeting. And what we have decided, Christine here is able to take the minutes for us. And what we decided was, if in the event that she is unable to make it, as we've had some issues in the past, that our township manager to be hired will take those minutes, and he will be paid the minute stipend that we have adjusted in our resolution. And are you good with that? Christine, are you good with that?
Yes.
Okay. So those are the actions that we had to deal with tonight to come up with a conclusion.
Take minutes and do the report.
And do the report. You're gonna do the minutes for the meeting and present them, you know, if nobody else is here. Now, it's our every intention to try to have somebody there so that your attention is directed toward the meeting itself. So that's where we're at. Yes,
Park
sir.
and Rec as well?
Park and Rec, we're also going to ask Christine to do the minutes, and we'll have somebody for you there for that. And we'll be trying to find a backup just in the event that we're unable to have Christine there. I mean, there's always a possibility of vacation, sick time. I mean, we've seen it. So we want to be able to try to reformulate so that we're building strong instead of in sand. Okay? Any questions? Okay? Now, the other thing that we were talking about is that we're going to hire Hunter Ahrens for township manager. So, do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to hire Hunter Ahrens.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I do want to say also, if I can just add to that, is that Hunter interviewed very well. He did it. Was very impressive with his honesty, his hard work, his dedication to the job. His references were very good too, and we're excited to bring him on board. Thank you.
And welcome aboard, Hunter. Okay, now, before we go too far, Paul Jansen from Albright College is here with us today. And Paul had an integral part in this process. So, Paul, would you like to come up and explain to our audience what your part was in this and your take on the whole?
Sure. Where would you like me to?
Well, you can have a seat somewhere
Okay.
and feel comfortable.
Okay, very good. Okay. So, as Dave said, my name is Paul Jansen. I've been the executive director for the Center for Excellence in Local Government at Albright College. I'm starting my 11th year next month, which is kind of shocking to me.
I remember when you started.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah. That followed 30 years of municipal management in Pennsylvania with a number of municipalities. I'm an unusual person in that I have managed a second-class township, I've managed a first-class township, I've managed a third-class city, a borough, and I've also been involved in home rule communities. So I had 6 different municipalities, and I didn't duplicate any except for second-class township. In 2 of my positions was second-class township. Anyway, I am the executive director of the Center for Excellence, which has been in existence since 1994. So we've been around, and for a good period of time. recently, when I say recently, probably 6 years ago, I was contacted by a couple of municipalities who were concerned about hiring a manager, because you have a manager, and Maidencreek is a classic for that. You've had a manager or a secretary for 18 years, and now all of a sudden you've got to change and find a new person. And what is the skill set? What is the job? Do you really understand what you're going to be looking at and the candidates you have? And so about 6 years ago, I stepped in and provided those services from CELG, utilizing my background. I had done it before I came to CELG as a consultant working for municipalities, but this is formally with the Center for Excellence. So I designed a process to match candidates with the municipality. And the process started with a meeting with the Board of Supervisors, and at that point it was just two of the supervisors to really discuss what it is they want from their manager, because you can be a strong manager form where the manager just manages everything and the board sets the policy, or you can be a commission form of government where the manager is basically just functioning on behalf of the board, but not actually driving decisions and pushing things forward. And so the board said they wanted to hire a manager who's going to handle things, and they would be able to focus on policy. So that the first step was really understanding what they were looking for, and we took care of that. Then I designed an advertisement based on the issues that they tell me are prevalent in the community, and the issues that are problematic in the community that they want to make sure that their candidate is strong enough to manage. So I do an advertisement with that, and then I designed an application, which had, in the case of Maidencreek, it had 4 questions. And so the applicants answer those questions, and I evaluate how thorough their answer is based on what the issue is. Most of the questions are really kind of looking behind the curtain at, in this case, Maidencreek, and what are issues that are there, that are present here, that maybe the board wants to understand better, whether they really understand what's going on here or not. So I evaluate that. The candidates that come in with their application, I look at to make sure that they match the ad. Do they have the educational expertise? Do they have the time on the job as experience? Those things were all in the ad, and so I match it up to make sure they do it, and I score it. And then the top candidates I do a telephone interview with, and the board has the questions that I'm asking them in the telephone interview, but I'm drilling more down as a manager talking to a potential manager, as opposed to a board of supervisors talking to a potential employer. Or employee. So I really kind of spend time. Usually my interviews are an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half. And so when I gather all that information, I score it. And the board has no idea who the applicants are. I keep that process out of there so it's not a political process. So I score the applicants and I give it to the supervisors. They review it, and they don't have to follow my recommendations. They can simply say, we really like Hunter, and he may be your 5th recommended candidate, but we think he should be interviewed in the top 3. I don't care. My job in assisting the board is done when I evaluate the information the candidates give me, and I make the recommendations to the board. They make their decisions how they want to do it. So then we go through the process of who do we want to interview, and so they tell me who to interview, and in the case of Maidencreek and all the jobs I've done, and I always tell the boards I don't have to participate in the interviews, but it happens that if I participate in the interview and I ask the questions, then the board can really focus on the candidates. They don't have to worry about how much time do we have, did we ask all the questions. Was I looking at my notes and I missed a response that the candidate gave? Because if they don't have to ask those questions, they can really focus on that. And so I will proctor the outside of the room, but every board so far has said they want me to be actually in the room. And we go through it. In this case, we went through, I think, 12 questions. And the board approves those questions. And a lot of them are built on a couple of the application questions because they're significant for the township. And so I'll just use Hunter as an example. Hunter answered 4 of those questions. We asked those questions in a different way in the interview, and he has to answer them verbally. And then they now have the written answer, the verbal answer, and 6 months later, if Hunter isn't the person who he says he is, they have real evidence of what they were hiring when they did. And so they could say, wait a minute, Hunter, this is what you said, this is what we were expecting, and you're not doing it that way. Really helps them to bring the candidates back into the process so that they are the person they thought they hired. So when that's all said and done, then they make the decision who they want to hire. I will assist in the interview process other than just asking the initial question. If I hear something that probably needs to be enhanced because it was a very good answer, and maybe the board doesn't understand how good that was, or if I hear some junk and the board needs to understand that it's junk and they need to explore that with the candidate. And so then they make their decision where they want to go, but before they actually get to tonight, we do an extensive background check. And I'm not talking about just talking references, I'm talking credit, I'm talking about aliases, all kinds of, there's a private investigation firm that does it. The board, I'll be transmitting it to the solicitor. Don't keep those in municipal buildings because they can walk sometimes, and that's not information that you want to have walking around. Hunter's background was very, very solid, and all of you should know that. I mean, he's really got a good background. In full declaration, and I told the board this, I've known Hunter since he was a freshman at Albright. He walked into my office and said he wanted to be in local government. I'm in an office in Albright. He wanted to do it the second week of school. I said, Hunter, I want you to go back to your classrooms. I want you to make sure you can get some grades. I want to make sure you understand what you're facing. And when you get to that point, come back. Well, 2 weeks later, he came back, and I was thinking, well, Hunter, I'm thinking a little bit longer, but I couldn't keep away. So he really wanted to get into municipal work. And so I knew him for the 4 years, pretty much the whole 4 years he was at Albright, and I told him that. But he has, he's got his bachelor's degree. He's now enrolled in a master's degree in Villanova for public administration, which is the degree for municipal management in Pennsylvania. Not Villanova so much, but the master's in public administration. And Hunter worked for Brecknock Township while he was a senior at Albright. He did I think 10 to 15 hour job as an assistant secretary there. So he had a year of experience before he even got hired by them full-time as a secretary treasurer, and was there for, I think, 3 years. He decided he wanted to take a break, and he went to Berks County and worked in their purchasing operation. All the while, still attending stuff at CELG. We do training and workshops and things like that. Really filling up his knowledge and understanding of municipal government. He did that for the 4 years that he was at Albright also. So that's the candidate you have tonight. I guess that's the manager you have tonight because you've actually formally appointed him. So it was my pleasure to serve the board to do this. Josh arrived like 3 weeks after we did the ad, and I said to the board, you got to make sure that this thing is really copacetic for Josh, because the two of you could be in agreement, and they were in agreement, and then Josh was in agreement also. So the process has been pretty united all the way through to tonight. So, and believe me, I know the background from Maidencreek, and I'm very happy that the three of them are united in bringing Hunter in. So, questions from anybody?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, thank you.
So just so everybody knows, the dynamics of this have been ongoing for the last 6 months. Okay, so we've come a long way. And it's cost the township some money to do that. However, for somebody who's professional in doing that, it's better for him to do it and bring us the qualified candidates than for us to muddle through it and end up with somebody who could be a disaster for us. So we appreciate, I mean, I've attended Albright and taken their master planners program, and they've got some tremendous courses up there. I can't say enough about Paul and his predecessor, but you know, his secretary there does an awesome job as well, trying to keep municipal government in plain view and helping us all as municipal servers to be able to serve all you folks. So what we've done is we've made our choice now. We are going to move forward. We're going to be moving forward in a number of different avenues, several of those tonight, because we've been stalled over a period of time, and we've fallen backward. Now it's time to pick up the pieces and move forward. We've had a tremendous past, we've had some muddy waters, and now we've got to get into our freshwater fly again. So we ask you to just bear with us as we're going through this, and it's a learning process for every single one of us. Hunter, do you have anything that you want to say? Come on down.
I just want to start in saying thank you to the board for your confidence in me. This is a great privilege for me to be a public servant for Maidencreek Township. And I want to say to the residents, I hope to get to know a number of you, and I hope to be a good manager, not only for the staff, but also in assisting the community and really trying to realize the vision that the community wants through your elected officials. So I'm very fortunate to be in this role, and I plan to do it very well, and I give you my word that I will not contribute to any of the challenges that we've had, and we're going to go forward from here.
So you're originally from this area?
Yes, yes. I am born and raised Berks County.
Ah,
It runs in my blood.
Okay.
I'm originally from Exeter Township,
okay.
and I live in Wyandotte right now. Yeah.
Welcome
think I would-
aboard.
Thank you.
I think I would be remiss in saying that the two qualities that you will get with Hunter, and I think Heidi referred to one of them, his honesty and his integrity are beyond reproach. And I think that's going to serve the township very well. So,
And correct me if I'm wrong, but our start dates for you are 7/11 for full-time?
Yeah, and then
And-
I will be here tomorrow morning.
Okay. That'll work for us, yeah. I mean, we're looking to move forward. We
Yeah.
have to. We've got too many things in the stew pot right now to not go forward. Is there anybody in the crowd that might have any questions of us for our decision, or anybody else? Yeah, well, we had the motion for hiring him in the,
Yes, and we've done that.
we've done that.
We added to the new business, right?
Yes, we have to still go through that.
That's what I want to
Yeah.
make sure.
Yeah, so we've hired a manager now,
We're going to swear him in.
and, yep, so you might as well start by getting sworn in right now. Come on up. So we have a notary here and our
We can actually
solicitor.
take the Bible up here if that's okay. Yeah. Wonderful, hello.
This is my mother.
Hi, Mom.
She has been accused recently of being my wife, so. It's an age thing, not a weird thing. Left hand.
It's gonna be a little bit.
Thanks for looking in the back, raise your right hand, repeat after her.
Yes, got it. Okay, I'm gonna administer your oath now, okay? Just repeat after me. I, Hunter Ahrens,
I, Hunter Ahrens,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution
that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of Township Manager
and that I will discharge the duties of Township Manager
in Maidencreek Township,
in Maidencreek Township,
Berks County with
Berks.
fidelity.
Berks County with fidelity.
Congratulations. Congratulations on your new employment, yes. If you could just do me a favor and right here.
First active signature, it'll be the first of many. I think.
Middle initial, I'm not sure if you signed it that, so.
I don't sign it, but I do put it.
Yes, all right, well, congratulations. If you could just
Thank you.
pass this to
Welcome
me.
aboard.
thank you.
Thank you. There's a spot there.
Yep.
Nope, right
This one,
here.
no, this one here. yeah.
Correct, yeah, and then I'll
Yep, right.
stamp
Welcome
it.
aboard.
Yeah, thank
You'll
you.
get to know us regulars if you come to the meeting.
Feel free to stop through
Just
the
sign
office.
that chairman.
I will tell you, I'm not shy, right?
On the right hand side. Yep, it doesn't have to be, but it makes it.
Yeah, so I'll be here a little bit after if you guys.
All
want to
right,
talk after.
thank you very much.
Sorry, I'm dated.
I just need this, and what I have to do is I have to give it back to Chris to put in the file, it needs to be kept here.
Okay, so you want to make a copy of that, keep it with the file.
Come on, I feel like I just look like a college
I have to look
freshman.
and stamp it though, but yes.
I would take that as a compliment.
In maybe 10 years, but right now,
I understand though.
yeah.
Well, you gotta, you're starting your career, we're ending our career.
You're starting a new career, a career of retirement.
No,
Seasoned.
Dave, I think my work here
Ending our career.
is formally done, so I'm gonna take my leave, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, so now, our next move is to,
Does he have the key to get in now?
not yet,
I'm
but
sure
he
he'll
will.
come early,
because-
so he needs the key to get in.
We'll make sure that's taken.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't break in tomorrow, we'll have you. Okay, so, now, we've had a secretary been filling in with the exception of 4 days that she took for vacation that was pre-scheduled. And I'll tell you what, we've gotten a lot of word that she's doing a fantastic job. She's really stepped up to bat and, you know, hit quite a few home runs from what we can see. So I think we'd like to make her part of our team. And what I'm gonna look for now is a motion to hire Christina Hafer as our township secretary.
I'll make the motion that we hire Christina Hafer as our township secretary.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that. I also want to add that Christina took the job on a moment's notice and covered for us when we really needed somebody and had only 1 day of training officially. So really, you've stepped up to the plate. We really appreciate that.
And
So we
she's-
had a smooth transition.
Yeah, and she's had a background that really helped us out a lot, so we're really grateful for everything you've done so far, and we're looking to move forward. So you guys are gonna be the team in the office for right now, and.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so, all in consent?
Aye.
Aye. You're hired.
Congratulations, yes. Thanks again for stepping up.
Yes, and we're gonna be looking for some help as well to assist with other things. And I think we've got our road crew pretty well established with some good people now. We're reestablishing our office, and I think we're moving forward. I see that we're moving in the right direction. I thank you all for sticking with us and being right there by our sides as we forge forward. And I think that only good things are coming. Any questions? Anybody want to comment? And Eric, I want to thank you too for making the videos of this so that everybody can participate. So thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Okay, well,
speech.
Going forward, we are gonna try to get this back on Zoom anyway, it just was a spur of the moment thing, and until we get everything logged in and set up correctly, I guess we'll be looking at it later.
yes. Any additional business to come before the board tonight?
No.
Okay, and then looking at my watch and having a hard time believing it's 7:46. Motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in agreement?
Aye.
Aye, 7:46. And it's over.